Hello, welcome back. Hope all is well. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. I'm picking up on some unbothered energy. Really, I'm seeing that twice out here. I have this here, and then we have this here. Okay, unbothered. You are not given a rat's about anything that anyone could possibly have going on that doesn't concern you. And that's a good thing, collective. Not reacting to nonsense, letting people think what they want, energy focused on your own lane. Peace is the flex. Baby, it's nothing like some peace, right? Peace of mind, peace and quiet. Yes. You've walked away from a toxic ass situation. I'm seeing that type of energy out here as well, twice, with the Eight of Cups and the Chariot. Someone has put some time and distance between themselves and whatever could have been holding them back. And I'm going to show you something right here. I see this here staring me in the face. It's some cuffs. You know, when someone is trying to hold on too tight, or they're not, they aren't comfortable in their own skin. So they try to make everyone else around them uncomfortable, or make them feel some type of attachment, or they could have detachment issues. Whoever this individual is that we're listening to this reading for. Yeah. But that can come with what it says here, severe consequences. Consequences of non-compliance can be severe and lasting. Disregard for rules disrupts order and invites conflict. Hidden legal dangers lurk and threaten your peace. And isn't that something, because we also have the Justice card here staring us in the face. Someone's birthday could be in November. Okay. I'd rather put this under here. Yeah. All right. And we still have yet somebody getting something off their mind, off their chest, telling someone exactly how they feel about a situation before they walk away from it. We also have the Tower, things collapsing, things falling to pieces with this individual, and yet you still feel you're still in that unbothered energy, collective. I'm going to tell you what, that's a good place to be right now. Okay? What could have once felt like a trap with this individual that you're listening to this reading for, you're no longer feeling trapped. Okay? Let me see. You could have had a problem, a hard time telling someone no against your better judgment. Okay? You could have felt as though you needed to say yes to keep the peace. All right? You had to choose yourself, collective. You had to choose your peace, because somebody was just always, there was always some drama going on with this person. Always a drama storm. It says chaos hits at once. That's that Tower. Emotions rise quickly. Stay grounded in the noise. And that's where that unbothered energy is coming from. You made up your mind that you need, in order for you to have peace, in order for you to get the things that you wanted, you needed to leave a toxic ass situation, the freak behind. And that's what you did. You know, stop saying you're manifesting when you're really just daydreaming and avoiding action. Well, you got sick and tired of sitting back waiting on something to happen or waiting for a change in the situation, and you changed the situation on your own. Somebody ran out of time dealing with you. You might not have said anything to this individual about it. You just had it all up in your head. I'm gonna give this individual an invisible amount of time to get themselves together, and when that time expired, you went the heck on about your business, drama free. They wanted to cause some drama. They would have loved to have had some chaos and confusion. They could have wanted to be in that energy of fighting and arguing or whatever like that, but you had had enough. Okay. Here we have a broken heart, a key. It looks as though that lock is still locked and the key is just sitting there. Well, you know what they say, it's about the back jack, set yourself free. You could have done just that. You could have just made up your mind that you were done with the chaos, the bull crap, the confusion, and just went ahead and set yourself free. Don't romanticize confusion. You deserve clear intentions, not mixed signals with a smug smile. You're the prize, not a puzzle. You start realizing your self-worth. That makes sense with this CEO energy here. You start realizing your self-worth, and you start moving accordingly. Okay, you stop having pity parties and whatnot and decided to take some action. That good for you, collective. I hope that's what's happening with you right now. With this time running out, let me tell you what it says. It says, time's relentless advance grapples with the irreversibility of time and its permanent impact, understands time relentless advance and the impossibility of reversal. You know, one thing you can't get back is time, baby. You could spend 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years with an individual praying, waiting for change, and that individual never changed. They stay stuck in that old toxic, low-vibing ass energy. We got the number 64 on this card, which could also be 46. That might be relevant to someone. We have the number 16 on that card and 11 on another, so your birthday could be November 16th. We have the number 65 on one card, and that could be reversed to 56. We also have the number 59 on this card, or you could have been born in 1995. Let's put it that way, okay? Those are just some numbers I'd like to throw out there to see what's going on. I'm going to tell you what. You have given this individual, whoever you're listening to this reading for, you've given them time after time after time. You have reconciled countless times with this individual. So many times you you could have really felt stuck. Like, okay, I'm trying as hard as I can to make this work with this person, but they are just stuck in their own toxic ass energy, okay? You got tired of dealing with it. You did. You walked away from it. You gathered yourself. You gathered your thoughts, and came up with the plan. And you executed that plan. You pulled back your energy from this individual and gave yourself time to think, meditate. Just be quiet and listen to the universe. Listen to the Holy Spirit speak through you. And you went with whatever it was that it spoke to you, okay? And that's the best I could put that, okay? We have 4 swords. That's 4 swords energy. Like I said, you sat back, you took account of everything that had transpired. You took account of all the countless times you had given this individual chance after chance after chance to break it, to make it right. Unbreak your heart is what I wanted to say. That's why I heard that break part. But yeah, this person could have accused you of being needy. They could have said something like, you're too clingy, and the universe is telling you you're not clingy. They're just inconsistent. It says, you wouldn't question your worth if they didn't disappear every time you ask for basic respect. Don't gaslight yourself into settling for crumbs. And from what I'm getting from this reading collective, you're no longer settling for crumbs, okay? You're beyond that. You are definitely beyond that. What I can say is that whoever you left behind, they are watching you, okay? They are watching your every move. You best believe you got some eyes on you. You got some silent followers, it says, secretly studying your moves, pretending not to care, but always watching. Your glow bothers their shadows, okay? Because you know what? This individual didn't expect for you to be in this unbothered, non-giving a crap energy like you are. They wanted you to be all up in arms, a nervous wreck, a miserable wreck. You know what I'm saying? Crying, perhaps. But yet you put that poker face on and you're giving them that unbothered energy. When they ask you something, you're not being slick at the mouth. You're just speaking factual. You don't have time for arguments and debates with this individual. You've given them enough of that. Okay? You've given them enough of that. That's old and it's tired. Seriously. But you do have, what I can see is that you do have new love coming. Someone is on your radar, or you're on someone's radar. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm trying to get this card and it seems to be stuck. Hold on. Yeah, you're on someone's mind heavy. You know, whoever this individual is, they're trying to figure out a way to get back in your good graces. They could be looking you up online from different accounts and everything like that. Pretending to be someone that they're not. Okay. Yeah. We have on the split the Eight of Pentacles. You're tired of going around in circles with this individual. You're focused on making changes and doing things that's going to suit you. You're no longer giving a crap about what's going to make someone else happy. You've given enough of yourself is what I'm getting. You really poured into this individual in whatever relationship you were in. You could have went beyond the mile. You understand what I'm saying? You could have really went out there and put yourself out there. You know, put your heart out there. Put your emotions. And whoever this individual is, they took advantage. They thought that they kind of took your kindness for weakness is what I'm getting. I thought I saw the Two of Cups. Because I did say you had new love coming. But I don't think I put it on the table. It's okay. Yes, you do. You have someone you have a prospect or two lined up waiting for you to be single, honey. Follow your intuition. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Continue to do that. Okay. I just want to shuffle the deck. I felt the need to. There it is. No, that's the Eight of Cups. Okay. Yeah, well, it fits. You have withdrawn your energy from this individual. Yeah, there it is. Yet again, the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. You withdraw your energy from this individual because you know that new things, new love, new is coming for you. Someone that's going to be solid. They're going to be on the same page, and you won't have to. There won't be a lot of drama surrounding the two of you. And someone isn't going to like to see that either. They're going to be so ticked off whenever you do present someone else in your situation. They're going to be very ticked off. Yep. But you have to put that no longer serves you to an end. You got to move on. You can't keep holding on to something that isn't worth holding on to or isn't reciprocating. Okay? Don't do that. Just move along, move along. Pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition will not fail you, I promise. What else do we need to put on this here? Oh, shoot, that flipped over in my hand. Look, Ten of Swords. You know you've been stabbed in your back by this individual that's coming around trying to act like they're so innocent, and that's why you have no problem moving on. What else? What do we have for this stuck energy with the shackles or the handcuffs or somebody trying to make sure you have very limited movement, or they could be trying to watch your every move. They could be trying to slow down your progress. If you were, say you had a deadline that you were leaving or whatever, they could be trying to slow down your progress. You know what I did not see on this table? Hardly any pentacles. So someone could have stayed in a toxic environment, a toxic situation. There are those pentacles. Someone could have stayed in a toxic situation because they could have felt a little restraint. They could have felt like money was tight. They didn't have whatever it was at the time to get up and go or go on about their business the way they would have liked. So they just pull back their energy. That's what that hermit energy is. And now that but they were committed to saving money and preparing themselves to leave with this Ace of Pentacles, some new opportunities could have opened up for you. You could have gotten a better paid job or a raise on your current job, or you could have picked up a second job for some. There that Two of Cups is. I knew we would come back. Yeah. New love. Someone that you have an emotional attachment to. Someone that will understand you better. You know what I mean? They get you. Okay? They realize, wow, you know, you're not such a bad person. I don't care what anybody said. I don't care what so-and-so said about you. You all right. Yeah. Whoever this individual is going to balance things out. They are not going to come in half-stepping with you. They're not going to come in wasting your time. Okay? You won't have to worry about them being inconsistent, and you won't have to worry about them accusing you of being clingy. Okay, whereas someone else thought you were clingy, someone else is going to appreciate your attention and your time. And they're going to be as consistent as you are, okay? Do not take any negative, toxic, low-vibing energy into a new situation, all right, collective? Stay focused, stay open-minded, and do your thing. Embrace it. Don't turn away from it. What else do we have? Oh, shoot. We have the High Priestess in the reverse. Someone wasn't listening to their intuition in the past, but you're tuned in now. You definitely tuned in. What used to slide is no longer sliding. What used to, you would overlook, you're no longer overlooking it, okay? You're paying attention to everything and everybody, all parties involved. Whoever this person is that you're meeting, I'm picking up on Page of Cups and Page of Wands energy. That's youthful energy. With the Page of Wands, we have someone that is deliberate. Oh, shoot. I dropped my card. I'm sorry. Wait a minute, y'all. I gotta do something real quick. I just wanted to adjust the lighting. Oh, goodness. Yeah. We have this Page of Wands energy. Okay. Whoever this person is more up your lane. What I mean by that, you're kind of nonchalant, free-spirited and everything, and this individual is too. That's what you're pulling in. Someone that match your energy. you know, whoever this individual is, like I said, their page energy, so that's youthful, vibrant energy for me. Okay, whoever this individual is, they're very sensitive, such as you. They pay attention to their intuition. They listen to, they don't just jump out. They're not hasty. Okay, they're I would say they're more emotionally intelligent than the individual that you've been dealing with, and they could be younger than your person. They could be a little bit younger than you. But just know that they're going to hang around whoever this new person is. They aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Okay? And that's what this individual is going to envy about them also, because they can see that whoever this person is a better match. That's why they watch you. That's why they envy you. That's why they would love a reconciliation. You know, you brought balance to this person's life. They're missing that if you're no longer around. Okay? You could have been very patient with this individual with this Eight of Pentacles energy. You know, you could have put up with, you obviously clearly put up with a lot from that person, but the toxicity and the name calling and the bad language and the pointing fingers just got to be too much, and you decided to let it go, and I don't blame you. This person tried to play you real close. Something also tells me that this individual kept a lot of secrets. You got sick of that. You know, there wasn't any transparency with this person. You could have asked this individual, what's this, then the third, and they could have been like, oh, that's just your imagination playing tricks on you again. I don't know why you be, you know, da-da-da-da, just blew everything off. They never addressed anything that you were concerned about, okay? So you could have pulled back your energy and started focusing on work. Now, what I will say, for some of you, this could be an office romance or someone that you work with. Okay, that this new person could be someone that you work with. All right, whoever this individual is, they're very attractive, very handsome. You know, could have been, but I tell you what, they aren't going to waste any time coming towards you. They're not going to waste any time letting you know how they feel about you. What they want with you. They're going to let you know. They're going to be very straightforward with it too. They're not going to mix words. I'm picking up on Aries, Leo, Sag energy. I'm also picking up on Taurus, Virgo, Cap energy. And if anything about the message resonated with you in any shape, form, or fashion, do like, share, and subscribe. What I will say, don't waste your time with somebody that don't mean well. You know when somebody don't have your best interests at heart. No matter how whatever the situation. You might be attracted to the lifestyle. You might be attracted to, you know, like I said, I'm picking up on what I just said, the lifestyle. They may be able to provide a certain lifestyle that you've come accustomed to, whatever like that. They could have taken a lot of weight off of your plate, such as, you know, responsibilities, financial responsibilities at one point or another. They could have helped you in that respect. For some of you, that's not for everybody. And you could have gotten used to that. And now it's time for you to break away for your self-respect, for your dignity. Sometimes you gotta, you know, you can't just sacrifice everything for material things. Don't do that. Now, I'm not saying be in your pride, you know, lean to pride and ego, but sometime or another you do have to have some type of, like, what are you standing for? I mean, like, you just let anybody treat you any kind of way for a bag? You're going to let someone talk to you any kind of way because they provide certain things? At some point or another, you're going to have to decide, well, look, I can provide these things on my own and have peace of mind. You know? So, peace of mind is priceless. You should never settle for being someplace where someone disrespects you blatantly. And I'm picking up on it could have been a lot of blatant disrespect. This person took for granted that you were comfortable where you were and you would not leave. Okay? What I'm also picking up on is the energy of someone could have gotten involved with someone else, and the only way they knew to make you leave was to be disrespectful. For some of you, they could have been staying away for nights at a time. They could have been coming in, not half-ass speaking, not half-ass talking, like they didn't have anything to say. They could have just started being real selfish, nasty. You know when somebody wants you to leave or don't want to be bothered with you. They treat you differently. They get real loose at the mouth, saying disrespectful things, making disrespectful comments. They could be out amongst other individuals, flirting with other individuals in your presence. It got bad for somebody. It really got out of control. And it could have been to a point where other people were noticing it, and they were like, look, how much disrespect are you going to tolerate from this person? You know what I mean? So you had to look yourself in the mirror and say, yo, when am I going, it's time for me to do something about it. It's time for me to step up. It's time for me to man up, woman up, whatever, and leave a toxic situation behind. It could have gotten to the point where you were so worried and so overwhelmed with what was going on, like the big switch and everything like that, you start to not even recognize yourself in the mirror. You could have started not recognizing, damn, who am I? This isn't me. Look at these two cards. Okay? Do they look alike? No. Do they look alike? No. You could have been a very happy person, very jolly, happy-go-lucky. And when you got with this individual, you thought you'd hit the jackpot. You thought you had gotten the big piece of chicken, just to find out, no, wrong. What you see is not necessarily what you get. Whatever it was you were going through has started to show on you, start to wear on you. And somebody could have pulled you to the side and be like, yo, what's up? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Look, why am I here? You got to asking yourself, why am I here? This individual don't like me. They're acting nasty towards me. They're being rude. Look, slurp, burp. You know what I mean? Who does that? The vibes are off because you keep inviting goblins to dinner. Okay, you kept hanging around this individual thinking it would change and this and the third, and you could have became the topic of discussion at work. Hair falling out, edges thinning, weight gain, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just a mess. At one point or another, do you decide, okay, enough is enough? What I think is that you've gotten to that point where you feel as though enough is enough. And you're finally ready to do something about it. Yep. Yeah, that's it. If the hype button is illuminated, go ahead and hit the hype button. If anything about the message resonated with you in any shape, form, or fashion, do like, share, and subscribe. If you know of someone that the message may resonate with, share the video. That's it for now. Peace, love, and light.